Rhea Calder had learned many things during her 2 years as a xenobiologist aboard the research vessel Meridian Dawn. She had learned that the Carvathi were a proud warrior species whose cubs bonded fiercely with their caretakers. She had learned that their triple-jointed limbs could move with terrifying speed when provoked. She had learned that their purring sounds, so similar to earth cats, meant contentment and trust. What she hadn't learned was how to lie to them. "Rhea, mother, you smell of pain chemicals," chirped Tovik, the smallest and fiercest of the 6 cubs in her care. His silver fur bristled as he approached her workstation, black eyes narrowing with concern. Rhea kept her burned right hand tucked behind her back, forcing a smile. "I'm fine, little one. Just a long day in the lab." The other cubs lifted their heads from their play. Sessik, the eldest, rose to her full meter of height. Jorik and Venna flanked Tovik, forming an instinctive protective formation. The twins, Mika and Ren, tilted their heads in perfect synchronization, a gesture that meant they were sharing thoughts through their telepathic link. "You hide your primary manipulation appendage," Tovik stated, his translator collar rendering his growls into flat, emotionless standard. But Rhea could hear the worry beneath. "This is deception behavior." Rhea's chest tightened. The burn on her palm throbbed where she'd grabbed the overheating plasma conduit during the morning's emergency in engineering. Chief Engineer Draxus had ordered her to handle the repair despite it being outside her duties, despite the danger. When she'd hesitated, he'd made it clear that soft humans who couldn't follow orders didn't belong on military-adjacent vessels. She'd grabbed the conduit. Second-degree burns across her entire palm. Draxus had logged it as her error in the report. "I just bumped into something," Rhea said softly. "Nothing to worry about." Tovik's ears flattened against his skull. Around the nursery, the temperature seemed to drop. The other cubs moved closer, forming a semicircle around her. This was pack behavior. This was protective behavior. This was dangerous. "Show us," Sessik commanded. Her voice carried the authority of future leadership. She would one day command hundreds of warriors. "Or we will call the shipmother, Captain Yavara," the Carvathi commander of the Meridian Dawn, who had entrusted Rhea with her own sister's cubs during the research mission. The captain who had made it abundantly clear that anyone who harmed her nieces and nephews would face the airlock. Rhea's stomach twisted. If the cubs called Yavara, if they made a scene, Draxus would retaliate. He'd already made her life difficult. She couldn't afford to lose this position. "Please," Rhea whispered. "I just need you to trust me." "We trust you with our lives, Rhea mother," Tovik said, and his small voice cracked with emotion. "That is why we must know who hurt you." The twins moved in unison, pressing their small bodies against her legs. Their combined telepathic presence brushed against her mind, a gentle, questing touch. Carvathi cubs couldn't fully project thoughts to other species, but they could sense emotions with frightening accuracy. They knew she was afraid. They knew she was lying. And they knew someone had hurt her. "It was an accident," Rhea tried again, but her voice wavered. Tovik's lips peeled back, revealing needle-sharp teeth. "You defend the one who harmed you. This is not Carvathi way. This is not proper pack behavior. The human is injured," Venna stated, her clinical tone chilling. "The human hides injury. The human fears consequences." Conclusion: the human was harmed by one of authority. Too smart. The cubs were far too intelligent, and she'd underestimated their ability to read between the lines. Jorik's growl rumbled through the nursery. "We will find them. We will make them understand." "No." Rhea finally brought her hand forward, revealing the blistered, angry flesh wrapped in a medical gel bandage. "Look, it's already treated. It's healing. Please, you can't do anything. It will only make things worse." 6 pairs of eyes fixed on her wounded hand. The silence stretched for 3 heartbeats. Then Tovik moved. He was across the room in a blur, his small claws activating the communication panel before Rhea could react. "Shipmother Yavara. Priority alert. Nursery 1. Immediate. Tovik. No. Our human has been burned. he said into the calm, his young voice steady and cold. She hides the injury. She fears punishment. We request your presence. The line clicked off. Rhea's knees weakened. The cubs gathered around her, not restraining but supporting, their small bodies warm and solid against her legs. Sessic gently guided her to sit on the cushioned floor. You are Pack, the eldest cub said simply. Pack protects Pack. This is the first law. 3 minutes later, the nursery door hissed open. Captain Yavara entered, her 2-meter frame filling the doorway, her silver and black coat immaculate, her black eyes sharp as obsidian blades. Behind her came First Officer Kresh, and, to Rhea's horror, Chief Engineer Draxus. The cubs immediately positioned themselves between Rhea and Draxus, their small bodies tense and ready. Yavara's gaze swept the room, taking in Rhea's bandaged hand, the cubs' protective formation, and Draxus's irritated expression. Explain, the captain said. Draxus spoke first. Sir, this is unnecessary drama. The human made an error during repairs this morning. She grabbed a hot conduit without proper precautions. I've already filed the incident report. Rhea mother grabbed the burning metal because you ordered her, Tovik interrupted, his voice cutting through the room like a blade. She feared refusing you. She fears you still. Draxus's face darkened. That's ridiculous. She's making up. The cubs do not lie, Yavara said softly. Dangerously. They cannot. Their telepathic nature makes deception biologically impossible for them. The captain approached Rhea, kneeling to examine her hand with surprising gentleness. When she spoke again, her voice carried the weight of absolute authority. Chief Engineer Draxus, you ordered a xenobiologist untrained in emergency engineering procedures to handle a plasma conduit repair. She sustained significant injury. Then, you filed a report blaming her error. Yavara rose to her full height. This is not how we treat pack members aboard my vessel, sir. You are relieved of duty pending investigation. Leave my sight. As Draxus was escorted out by Kresh, Tovik climbed into Rhea's lap, careful of her injured hand. The other cubs pressed close, a purring mass of warmth and fierce protection. You should have told us immediately, Yavara said, not unkindly. These cubs chose you as pack mother. That means you are Karvathi now, whether your species acknowledges it or not, and Karvathi do not suffer in silence. Rhea felt tears prickling her eyes. I didn't want to cause trouble. Sessic repeated, testing the word. Then she looked up at her aunt, with ancient wisdom in her young eyes. Rhea mother has much to learn about being Karvathi. Yavara's expression softened into something that might have been a smile. Then, we will teach her. Beginning with the first law. Pack protects pack. Always. Tovik nuzzled against Rhea's uninjured hand, his purr vibrating through her chest. We insisted to know who hurt our human, he said proudly, and now they will never hurt her again. Looking around at 6 fierce, loyal, impossibly brave cubs, Rhea finally understood. She hadn't just been studying an alien species for 2 years. She'd been joining a family, and families didn't let their own face danger alone.